If you have been overweight your entire life, you've never been in shape, you've always been someone who you would consider overweight, then the number one thing that you have to do is change your identity. And so obviously you can't just, sit in a dark room and just say affirmations, right? You can't just hope and pray. I did that before and it didn't work. It didn't do anything. I literally was writing in my journal. I love hitting my protein goal. I can stay in a calorie deficit easily. And at the time, I didn't track any calories. I couldn't hit my protein goal. And I couldn't lose weight. And so I didn't even believe it myself. And so I was doing the mental reps, which is a key part, which I'm going to talk about, but I wasn't doing any action to back that up. So obviously you have to do the action. That was my mistake. And it was stupid of me, but eventually I started to do the action. And then when you do the mental reps plus the physical reps, that's when things move 20 times faster. And it's so much more important for someone who's been overweight their entire life, because what are you doing? You're changing your identity. And so identity, people don't really know what that means. They're like, are you talking about your driver's license? No. Identity as in like who you are as a person, who you believe you are. Remember, your thoughts shape who you are. And so if you've thought a certain way your entire life, say you're 25 all the way to 45 years old, that's all these years you've lived, and every day you're saying, I'll never be in shape, I'm overweight, I'm fat, I'm this, I'm that, right? You're saying all these things, all these negative things, and then you don't do any action to rewire the habits, then you need to make sure that, number one, you're doing the action. Start walking, hit your protein, calorie deficit. I always talk about these things, right? So get started. You don't have to know all the details. There's way more than that, but just get in the beginning, right? You have to take the action. But the identity is the most important thing. The reason I bring this up, perfect example is Isaac. So I just mentioned him in my last video towards the end, but Isaac today is down 29 pounds in just a little over 2 months. He's not even 3 months in, okay? And so he didn't lose a single pound. So keep in mind, he's overweight, right? It's not like he's someone who's like skinny fat or like kind of close to his goal body weight. No, he's a bigger guy, right? And so you would think that it would be easier to drop the weight. And technically it is true, but the identity, the mental reps that you do, it takes more time. And so I told him this. I straight up told him this. I said, trust the process. Keep doing the things. Keep increasing your steps. Keep tracking your meals. Keep increasing your protein. Keep trying to find meals that you genuinely enjoy that are going to hit your goals. I promise you, let's do this. Let's stay consistent. And he luckily enough, or I guess, luckily for him, he decided, you know what? I'm going to stick to the process, right? And so 2 weeks, nothing budged. But then, and I always say this, when you start to stack a win, and it's different for everyone. For me, it was seeing the visual progress from the progress pictures I would take on Snapchat. I would literally take Snapchat progress pictures and I wouldn't tell anybody, I wouldn't share them with anybody. And I started to see, as I was increasing my protein, as I was hitting the deficit, as I was tracking, I was doing the walking, I was doing the things, for a couple months. And as I seen the visual progress, I was like, whoo, like this is what it could be. I started to see the potential and I was like, I started to ride with the momentum, and that's what you're going to do. But for him, from my knowledge, he hasn't even taken a progress picture except for the first day we started, right? The before picture. And so everyone's different. For him, I truly believe it was just the workout, seeing that, because he never really worked out. And so seeing himself show up 3 times a week, working out, it proved to him that, okay, we're starting to change our identity of who we are. This is who we are now. We work out. And I kept telling him, change your thoughts. Don't just do the reps in the physical world. Change your thoughts. Constantly be literally the little voice in your head saying that it's easy, it's effortless. You have to say these things until it becomes true. And so he started to do this. And, I truly believe it was just the consistency in his own reps and the fact that he was, getting my reinforcement, the feedback, of, oh, this is a big win right here. And so he had been getting stronger. So even though those 2 weeks, he didn't lose any weight, he was increasing his protein, he was increasing his walking, and he was consistently working out 3 times a week. Didn't miss at all. And so I was like celebrating these wins. And so instead of him looking at it as like, oh my God, I haven't lost any weight, he looked at it as like, okay, this is who I am now. I'm trusting the process. I'm still bought in. And then the weight started to drop a little bit, and it was like, okay, this is working, right? And then, he mentioned clothes are fitting better, right? They're fitting better because he's adding some muscle and he's also losing body fat. And so as he's starting to fit into his clothes better, now it keeps going. It keeps going. The mind is telling yourself, okay, so this is who we are. This is what's going to happen now. This is a part of my life. It has to be a part of your routine. It has to be a part of your lifestyle. And so as he, started to lose more weight and more weight, literally the last 2 weeks is the best results he's gotten. The scale has just been going straight down. He's in a complete flow state. He started out at, I think, 3,000 steps. He texted me a day that he hit over 11,500. And we have his goal set at, 9,000 right now, because I always recommend slowly ramping up the steps over the weeks. But the fact that he's just feeling the momentum. He's down 29 pounds. I post about it. People are reposting it because they know him locally. He's feeling the momentum. He's feeling so much better. And now that he has this proof, 29 pounds down, now it's really going to get good because he still has more weight to lose. He has a long journey ahead of himself, but I guarantee that he's going to have even better results in the next 2 or 3 months than the first 2 months because of the identity, because he truly believes and can see the version of himself who's at his dream body, who's at the goal body weight he's always wanted to be at. So in the beginning, it's the hardest part. It's very hard for someone who's been overweight their entire life to just snap your fingers and rewire all these things, even if you are doing the physical stuff. And so this is something I want you to know. If you've been overweight your entire life, I want you to truly, truly tell yourself, do I believe that I can even see a version of myself that could get down to my goal weight, that could have my dream body? And if the answer is no, then you have to just trust the process. You keep doing the physical reps. You keep doing your workouts. You keep walking. You keep tracking your calories. You start hitting that calorie deficit and keep doing the mental reps as well. And I promise you, something's going to shift. It's called a paradigm shift. It's happened to me. It's happened to my clients. And this is something that is 100% facts. This isn't no woo-woo mindset, weird stuff. Look it up. Paradigm shift. It's when something truly shifts in your mind and it's like a complete identity change. And so I promise you, if you're someone who's been overweight your entire life and the scale's not moving yet, trust the process and keep going.